gosh.
Look.
When are we?
Doc Bowkage.
Oh,
We're here.
Stevenage McFly?
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh shit.
What a journey.
I know. We just came back from a Huey Lewis concert.
Yeah.
And he did something weird. He said some weird things. He was singing something about power of loves and then backs and times and stuff.
Gosh.
And then skaboosh.
Here we are.
Here we are. Oh my god.
Man, for this wild episode.
Hello everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to a thickingly episode of an erotic bouquet of a Crept from the 80s. Today's special episode
That bouquet.
is 1985, The Summer of the Fox.
Woo!
We ain't talking about the animal, the woodland creature. No. We're talking about that suave MF known as Michael J. Fox. And folks, the summer of 1985 was a huge for Mr. Fox. Not only was he starring in the number one television show
Of all
all time, Family Ties,
It's a beautiful show. Beautiful show.
which we will talk about as well.
Oh, we
Its own-
will?
Not today, but its own episode.
Okay.
Its own episode.
All right, fine. Stay tuned.
But we're going to talk about two movies that hit in that same year, starring Mr. Fox, and are celebrating right now in 2020 the 35th anniversaries.
It's crazy. Crazy.
Imagine to be Michael J. Fox in 1985.
He was living the highest of lives.
My God. Number one show.
Yep.
And two number one films in the same year.
Was Teen Wolf number one?
It was.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was huge.
Okay. I paid.
Thanks to Back to the Future.
Okay. I was
But
going to say,
anyway,
because I...
so we're talking about Back to the Future and Teen Wolf.
Ow.
That's right.
Yeah.
You gotta go with that flow, Joe. No matter what, hell of a show. Yeah, right. So, my God. Listen, now, one of them is considered... I'm talking about out in the world, all right? Out in the
Okay.
world, out in the ether,
Yeah.
out in the space.
Of time.
Back to the Future is considered a fucking masterpiece. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Teen Wolf, not so much. But, to me...
Don't
They're-
say... What are you going to say?
No, I'm
Okay.
saying they're both masterpieces.
Okay. I thought you were going to say, but Teen Wolf is the better
No,
film.
no.
Okay,
no,
good.
no.
I was like, listen, I'm not saying it's not an opus, but there is a bar.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
okay.
as far as I'm considered, they are both classics to me.
Of course, you know,
They are both endlessly watchable films by a very, very talented man.
Yeah.
Starring a very, very talented man. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into our love affair, our history, what we think of both pictures, and the subsequent, I guess, constant. I don't know. It's not gone. Do you know what I mean?
You mean like it keeps coming
Yes,
back into
it's
the
like
zeitgeist?
Yeah, it's never really gone.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe Teen Wolf has, but there's specialty things out, the specialty companies out there who are catering to the Teen Wolf fans.
They are. I think we probably have all of the things that might be related in this
Hey, man,
in this
you'd
space.
You'd be surprised.
No, I know there.
brother.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's get thick with Marty and Doc and go back. So tell me, cousin Casey, what do you remember of Back to the Future? What was your first? Can you even
Fathom it.
think about it, or was it just? It's kind of like the Star Wars thing where it's just always been in your body.
Yeah.
Is there a time where you can go, you know what? That's when I saw Back to the Future, and it blew my mind.
No.
In addition to my taint.
Yeah.
And other bodily things.
No. It definitely is one of those. It's always been there. It's I was born from it. But really, like, there's certain things that are, like, timeless that I can't ever say. I can remember seeing Star Wars and all that, and I can remember seeing Back to the Future, but it's like, it was just always, it's like Michael Jackson. He's always there. Mm-hmm. It's always there. So, and I'm young, you know, so Back to the Future for me, I'm 4. So I don't know when I actually... Did I see it right then, or did I see it when it actually hit, you know, on TV probably 2 years later or something like that? But I definitely remember always watching that movie, having them, owning it, you know what I mean? And, like, just loving it for my entire existence. 4 on. But do you remember? Did you, like, see it in the theater?
No, I wish we saw it in the theater. And it actually...
That seems like you always would have seen that.
No, I know. It always surprises me thinking back about my family, specifically, like, my mom and uncles and my aunt. Like, the stuff that they all took me to, but we didn't go see Back to the Future. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's
unless I completely don't remember it and they haven't told me, but they've told me about everything, you know what I mean? So, because at that time, I definitely had been in the theater. I remember seeing so many movies in the theater prior to 1985.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What I remember is the very first VHS that we bought for the house.
Oh, it was Back
which
to
was
the
probably
Future.
a year later.
You've said this, yeah.
Was Back to the Future.
Right.
And it was in a store that was across the street from Video Connection.
Were they like, well, we didn't get to see this in the theater, so let's just throw the $30 at this VHS?
I don't know. I have no idea, unless it was like a thing
like a real
where like
gamble.
Everyone was like, maybe they had seen it. They were like, "This is an amazing movie," or like the hype is everywhere.
Yeah.
So we have to have Back to the Future.
It's just like, weren't VHS tapes so expensive?
They were expensive, but I didn't. I
mean, not for. I'm saying like,
you know,
$30 back then. $60.
Yeah, but I mean, our family bought a fucking video camera in 1984, and those things were over $1,000. You know,
it's insane.
So I just remember first getting the VHS, probably 1986.
Yeah.
And just flipping out. I just was like, I was Marty, man, you know? I was a 9-year-old.
Still are.
I was just a 9-year-old. Like, I just thought it was the coolest movie.
Oh, yeah.
I just was so enamored with it. And I probably wore that VHS out, you know?
It's just a movie that's inescapable. You know what I mean?
I mean, when I'm running, you know.
Yeah, I'm thinking when I'm coming.
Yeah, when I'm coming. You know, when I'm at the gym and I'm coming and I'm surfing and stuff.
Yeah.
I look behind me and it's always there. Back to the Future, just, you know.
But it's one of those
like
things
cherry
like
cola.
It's inescapable. You could never. I think it's almost a daily thing, though. You know how, like, Star Wars is a daily... Some thought process goes to it. I would say Back to the Future is up there with that, where it's, like, almost every day there's a reference made, or you see something that reminds you of it, and it's... You know, I think we're just going to talk specifically about part 1, but...
I mean, we'll talk a little bit about part 2, but...
not part 3.
No, not part 3. But yeah, you know.
It's timeless.
Yeah.
It really is. We got to go to the street. We got to go to Marty's house last year.
Oh, yeah. No, it was 2 years ago already. 2 years ago now.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you believe it?
No.
Yeah.
I don't, because I clearly have no idea what time is.
Well, when you have a
Speaking
time
of this
machine.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if you go out to California and if you're a location scouter, if you're looking for scouting and you want those movie locations, that seems to be a very popular one, is going to Marty's house, going to the Hill Valley Jimmy Van Brunt place and all that stuff.
Yeah, the neighborhood there. But didn't you feel it when you were on there? Like when we were on that street and seeing the whole street, And it was like kind of fall because we went in October, right?
Yeah.
And you already get that smell of fall, which already is a movie smell.
Yeah, but out there was...
It's a little different, but I'm saying like...
it was all weed.
I still felt the feelings like, hey, magic happened on this road. And there was no more road where we went.
Well, yeah, but you know what? we were kind of buttheads. Because we didn't, like, stop and smell the roses, really.
I'm saying for that, I did. When we went and saw, like, the
house,
Karate Kid thing, I was like, okay,
the house, I did.
No, I thought the road. Like,
but the road, I felt like we just saw it, and then we were like, see ya.
No, I still felt it.
Yeah. I don't know. We were gone pretty quick. But in front of Marty's house, I definitely was like, man, this is Marty's house.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know? And
crazy.
And you hear that...
Yeah.
Instantly hear that reggae song by Eric Clapton.
How many times have you seen Back to the Future?
Oh my god. Jesus. I don't know. I mean...
I know.
Oh my god.
Like,
you know,
countless.
from 86 to fucking... I'm gonna be 43. So many.
Yeah.
So many. I can't even count.
Have you ever met someone who has never seen Back to the Future?
Who did we... Oh, remember? It was an ex of yours. Remember? She had never seen, like, so many movies.
I remember she had never seen Teen Wolf, and for that I'll always go, okay.
No. I remember...
But Back to the Future?
Yeah, I remember we... Oof. Actually, didn't we go to
Maybe I killed her.
I think we were at Travis's. We all went there to show her some movies that she had never seen, and one of them was Back to the Future.
Man, wow. That's too bad. I think Back to the Future is a movie, though, that I've never met other than this random girl who's never seen it. And then, if you have seen it, I've never met anyone who was like, I don't really like that movie.
It would be...
I think I'd want to murder them. Or at least really contemplate why they exist, because that's just a weird thing. Like, I'm okay with disagreeing with people about, oh, I really didn't like this Star Wars movie, or I don't like Seinfeld, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. But for Back to the Future, I mean, really, though.
Get your shit together.
But I mean, right? Like, it's so wholesome. It stands up. It's hilarious. The music's amazing.
Back to the Future is a perfect film.
It is a perfect film. A perfect film. Find me a flaw.
I don't think there is one.
Well, even if someone said it, I would go, no, that's...
well, I don't think
that makes sense completely.
I don't think they could unless they were a fucking useless human being. You know? Like, just a curmudgeon-y turd bag who doesn't like fun. You know?
Yeah.
Like old people.
I want to say that old people like it, too.
You never know. I don't know.
What?
That virus is taking them out because they don't like it.
I don't know about that.
You know.
I do think that it's it's an amazing movie. So
here's how you can tell that it's a perfect classic masterpiece. It's like, for me, it never ever ever gets old.
No.
I can watch it any fucking time of the day, any day of the week.
Yep.
And I'm constantly still, like, entertained.
Yep.
And I just, it's one of those, while you're watching, you shake your head and you're just like, God damn, this movie. It's just so good. It's so good.
Oh, gosh.
The soundtrack is amazing. Alan Silvestri's score is amazing.
Yes.
It is classic. Classic. And guess where it came from, folks? The 1980s. Where all your fucking dreams become a reality. My God.
I listened to the soundtrack show, and they talked about the making of it, of the score, and I recommend that episode. Just hearing his little moo, moo. Oh my gosh. And how he came to compose it and all this stuff. That music, and when Steven Spielberg used it again in Ready Player One, I was just like, I mean, they used Silvestri, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants, but I was just like, so good. I mean, no one else could have directed that movie to begin with, but Back to the Future.
Yeah. Robert Zemeckis, Bob Gale. Bob, this is the rest of my life, Gale.
That is so weird to me. I guess. Or maybe not.
No, it is weird.
It is and it isn't. It's like you made the most perfect thing of all time, and he's probably like, what can I possibly do? Like, I did it. I created the Sistine Chapel of films. I'm done. I'll never do anything better than this. So he probably has written a million movies since then, and he just goes, they're not Back to the Future.
Yeah,
and he just throws it away.
Back to the Future.
I mean, that's it, though.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, Zemeckis,
he tries.
Done it. He's made some good movies.
No, he has.
I mean, not
I'm just being dumb.
I tend not to like his more real stuff,
like stupid Forrest Gump.
But he did, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
What year is that?
89.
Okay.
Same year as Back to the Future 2.
Okay.
And
I do remember seeing Who Framed Roger Rabbit in the theater.
Yeah.
Speaking of what?
Back to the Future 2.
Okay. Which one's movie? Which one's better?
Back to the Future.
Okay.
But because of my love of Back to the Future, when Back to the Future 2 was announced, I was on that. I was like reading everything I could, any TV special about it. Everything. I was ready. And Back to the Future 2 at the time was the movie I saw the most in theaters.
At the time.
It was 6 times.
6 times, okay.
I kept going.
Yeah.
Back to back. I was just like, I love this! At the time, for me, it blew part 1 out of the water,
That
I was
happens.
a 12, 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Back to the Future 2 was like... and I took pictures of myself pretending I was on a hoverboard. I did some dumbass shit because of Back to the Future 2. I remember the TV special that Leslie Nielsen hosted for Back to the Future 2, and when Robert Zemeckis said that hoverboards were real and all this shit, and I believed him.
Yeah.
These glasses are from Back to the Future 2 for the Pizza Hut promotion.
He went back.
No, I've had them since then. These have always been in my possession since those damn fucking Pizza Hut days back in the day. But I think Back to the Future 2, and I was totally into documentaries and behind the scenes and special effects and everything, and to be in awe of what they did technology wise for that movie was mind blowing. To have
him see
both,
himself,
and to touch himself, all of that, and to have it look seamless, it just blew my mind. And now think, 12, 13-year-old, think about, you've never seen a movie like this where they went back into their own movie.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And they recreated the first movie in the second movie.
I'm getting goosebumps.
It was like, now. Oh my god! Yeah. Like, this is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
That's the hard part. Like, when someone says I like Back to the Future 2 more than Part 1, I will not fight you. Yeah, I'll go. You know what? It has everything from the first movie, but it has hoverboards and it has the future and it has some cool shit. So like, yes, when I watched Back to the Future 2 as a kid, for sure, it destroyed the first one, and I still love the first one, but it was like, I was into skateboarding, like, hoverboard. What? Like, that was insane. Seeing him go back, using the almanac, like, these are just insane things. Like, it's still crazy to me.
It's so awesome.
And that's the other argument. I think the only reason Back to the Future, the first one, is the better one is just like, I don't know. Maybe because I like the 50s a little bit more, slightly, than the future. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I like that it's, like, a little more wholesome, almost. And, like, Back to the Future 2's slicker. I think it's really nostalgia only that it even wins out. Because Back to the Future 2 is it's a leap, like, in technology.
It's a great movie. But for some reason, I've never looked at it as like a classic like Back to the Future.
I kind of look at, I guess I would say I've probably seen Back to the Future more than Part 2, but I've also usually watched them together.
Yeah, it'd be close.
Yeah,
it'd be very close for me.
And then it's still, I mean, Back to the Future 2 is still a perfect movie with the exception of the ending when you're like, I know where this is heading. I don't give a shit.
Well, I actually love the ending because it was super fucking clever.
It is. But I'm saying,
I didn't like where it was
where
headed.
it's going.
Because like when you saw it in the theaters, it immediately showed the trailer to
I remember
part 3,
yeah.
And I was like, I just was like, oh no, not the Old West.
Why didn't you go back to medieval
Yes,
time?
that's what I always wanted. I was like, if you're gonna go anywhere, go to fucking King Arthur and the knights and all that shit.
And when we write it, it will happen.
Then I would have been on board, but and at the time I was obsessed with Young Guns, but I just didn't want to see my Back to the Future in the Old West. And then when I saw the movie, I was like, oh, they are literally doing Back to the Future in the Old West, and I just didn't. I was like, ugh, nah, no thanks, not for me. So
it's been a long time since I watched it. I don't hate it, but I don't even put it on the same category.
Don't even know the last time I watched Part 3. I was thinking about it, thinking of this episode, like, I wonder if I should watch it like in a trilogy night, because in April we're doing a Saturday night sleepover. Ooh. Where I do, instead of the nostalgia stuff with the cartoons and the shows, I'll just do 5 back-to-back 80s movies. And Back to the Future is one of them.
Anniversaries specifically.
Yeah, we're doing Back to the Future.
Right.
We're doing Explorers. We're doing Just One of the Guys.
I feel like
we're
that
doing Day of the
movie
Dead.
Gets played every year.
Where?
Just One of the Guys.
For me, it does. I watch it every year.
No, I know, but I feel like I'm always here at that time.
No. We only watched it once with you guys, and that was because Alec and a couple of those guys had never seen it, so we watched it at your place.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know. I feel like I've watched that movie quite a bit.
Well, maybe because it's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
And it's coming out on Blu-ray in April with special features.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, let's watch.
I'm excited about that.
We'll do an episode.
Just One of the Guys.
We should do that. Just one of those girls. So Back to the Future. Back to the Future. So good.
It's So 1 and 2, man. I mean, I think. I don't even think. I know that I watch that movie every year.
Well, I know.
I watch Back to the Future every single
year.
year. And there's some times where I've watched it a couple times a year. That's why it's tough for me to even contemplate the number of times I've seen that movie.
I remember the first...
It's like the Star Wars stuff or Indiana Jones or, it's like I've seen them so many times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's perfect movie, and the behind the scenes stuff is great. Seeing them make it.
Yep.
Seeing them do the hoverboard stuff is like insane.
Yeah, I had my next door neighbor come and harness me up in my backyard on the tree, and I made like a makeshift cruddy looking hoverboard.
You know what you had to do is take the trucks off of a skateboard.
I didn't have a skateboard at the time, so I made like this cardboard looking hoverboard and like taped it to my feet.
Yeah.
And I had this like my grandfather's like wiring from the garage.
Yeah.
And she harnessed me up, and I'm like,
yeah.
And she took a picture.
Do you have it?
Oh my god, I wish I had it. Are you kidding me?
That would
I wish
be like
I had it.
all of your profile pictures.
I know. It would
different
be.
filter.
It would be. Yeah, I can remember me like trying to play it off like it was real.
Well, of course. Guys, gotta check it. I did it.
Photographic proof.
I made it.
I wish I had it. But you know what? It could be in my fucking house.
So
I would
funny.
know because my family doesn't give me any of my old photos at all.
Well, I know they're watching. I think they're gonna let you.
Well, my aunt does watch some of the episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She leaves horrible comments.
Give me the friggin' photos, man. There's so much history and nostalgia in those photos. I don't know
Kathy,
why
I know you're watching.
I don't know why my family won't
comment
give them to me.
below. If you hit the ring, the bell, you'll get notified of what we say about you.
Yeah. So, and then, like, you know, throughout the years, there's been all sorts of... Oh, no. Okay, so in 1991, 1992, the cartoon came out. Did you ever watch the cartoon?
Did, of course.
Did you like it? I really liked the cartoon.
I did. With those little boys.
Yeah, well, because it was taking place after part 3.
Yeah, I did.
And then real Christopher Lloyd was, like, live action.
Yeah.
And then sometimes Biff, live action Biff, would show up in the episodes.
Yeah.
But
I have not watched it since that. I know it's an extra or whatever.
well, I've got it.
Is it good?
I like it. I think it still holds up. You know? But I loved it. I loved it, man. And remember that there was the Back to the Future. It was like either Burger King or McDonald's toys that were based on the animated show. And then, of course, we got NECA coming out with the animated toys.
Wow.
And the live action.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the new live action toys. Speaking of merchandising,
Those are gonna sell
man.
quite a bit.
Merchandising everywhere.
Yeah.
Back to the Future. That's what I'm saying. It's like there was at some point where it just started like, holy shit, stuff is everywhere.
I think it was like the 20th anniversary or something.
Memorabilia was just coming out.
Yeah.
And, I have a bunch of Back to the Future stuff. I think it's awesome. It's radical. It's
radadocious.
It is. It's delicious.
I have the Lego, and it converts to, you know, the car or the hover car, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love those Legos.
I wonder if I ever got that for River. Oh, I did. Oh, no, I didn't.
No,
I got him the
you got
Ghostbusters one.
Ghostbusters,
Yeah. Back to the Future is one of those movies that I showed River when he was, like, little. And he likes it, but, like, if I'm like, hey, dude, you want to watch Back to the Future? You know? He's just like, nah. Like, ugh.
Yeah, but that's what he's like about every single thing until he's, like, 16 anyways. So, this is just the way it is. Unless he comes up with the idea, it's probably lame.
I don't know. Every now and again, he'll surprise me. He'll say, like, you know what I want to watch? And he'll say something. I'm like, ooh, absolutely, let's go.
Hansel and Gretel Vampire Killers or whatever that movie
He
is.
watched it again, and he loved it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Such a good movie. You guys know. So anyways, anything...
It's Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunter.
Yeah. Vampire Hunters too. It's the sequel. It's coming out. Who's your favorite Back to the Future character?
Oh, Jesus. I mean, Marty. I love Marty. You know what? Here's the thing. They're all great.
I know.
They're all great. Even Mr. Strickland. You know, you can't have Back to the Future without fucking Slacker Strickland.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
But fucking Tom Wilson as Biff, he's so good. Christopher Lloyd is hilarious.
Matches.
Hey, well, you know, Casey Siemaszko and Billy Zane and all those guys. Again, it wouldn't be Back to the
It would
Future
not be,
without-
technically. Yeah.
You know, even the manure has personality in Back to the Future. But I love it, man.
Einstein is really the glue.
They're
that
all
holds
great.
the trilogy
They're all
together.
great. That movie is just a perfect ingredients that just made a delicious.
And we got to see the
monkey
town
pudding.
too, technically. Right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did from afar.
That's
Remember?
right. That's right.
We did from afar.
Yeah.
We did
We saw the
go
watch.
down through there, but
Correct.
they didn't let us go into that area.
Yeah.
We had to see it from looking
That's
through
right.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you go to Universal Studios out in L.A., it's just there. It's on the back lot, and you can see everything. You can see Hill Valley.
Yeah.
It's just there. It was Warner Brothers that we got to see.
That's right.
Gremlins.
Gremlins and everything
And
else.
Monster Squad and all that stuff.
I guess.
Fright Night.
Which we'll talk about again.
Probably. It's 35, 35
I know.
You gotta do it.
Yeah, it's I really love Crispin Glover in those movies.
He's amazing.
So
Well, he's
good.
only in the first one. But yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So stupid. I wonder what happened with that.
He does talk about it. You can find an interview online where he actually does actually talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a very closeted man. But yeah, it's there's never been a movie like it. They've tried doing it so many times, like not it itself, but like they've homaged Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Almost
I mean,
everything.
people ape that movie because it's a classic.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, think of Happy Death Day 2. Happy Death Day 2. Did you see it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Happy Death Day 2 is basically Back to the Future 2.
It is.
They even reference it in the movie. Yeah. And that's another movie where they go into the first movie again.
Such a good movie.
That's part of why that movie is so fucking great.
So good.
You know, it knows exactly what it's doing. It knows exactly what it is. Happy Death Day 2, folks. Those movies, I love those movies. Yeah. I love them. But it ain't no Back to the Future. That's what I'm saying. It ain't Back to the Future. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Back to the Future. We could keep talking about Back to the Future, but I wanna skip ahead a little bit. I wanna skip a little ahead and later in the summer of 1985 and talk about
another
coming of age
just opus film,
lycanthropic teenage fantasy. Known as Teen Wolf. Yeah. Not T-O-O. No, the first one.
Well,
the classic.
Yes.
Classic Teen Wolf. And, you know, we're in a room right now with somebody who does not like Teen Wolf. Do you know who that is?
I didn't want to say anything when you said this is what we were going to talk about, but yes, I don't like it. I hate it.
No, not him. He loves Teen Wolf. But the guy behind the camera, you know, what do you do?
Like I said, this is a movie where if you haven't seen it, you're probably definitely not going to like it. I'm not going to
I don't know, man. If you have the sensibility, you know, you might be like, this is great, you know?
I've never met anyone to say that. I've had people go, I see why you like that. Like, I've definitely had a lot of that with, you know, whoever.
I know. It's just weird because for me, I don't understand.
We grew up with it.
The movie is so good.
We grew up with it.
To me. It mixes everything I love, you know?
Werewolves.
Horror elements.
Basketball.
And buffoonery. You know, it is an 80s sex comedy without the sex.
Yeah.
But you throw in the horror elements, you know?
Yeah.
What's
a horror element of this movie?
He's a fucking werewolf.
Yeah, okay.
He is a werewolf. That is the horror element.
I know, he's very cuddly.
They took the 50s.
I know.
And you know,
I got it.
30s and all that stuff, and the Universal, and the I Was a Teenage Werewolf with Michael Landon and all that stuff, and they made it modern for that, you know, 1985. And for me, it works beautifully, and I love it. That's another one where I love the soundtrack.
Soundtrack's amazing.
There's so many classic scenes in Teen Wolf, and listen, I got to be honest. I don't know how many times I've seen Teen Wolf as well. Like, that movie, I've seen over and over and over again.
I couldn't put a number on it.
To me, I put it right next to Back to the Future as one of those movies where I could watch endlessly. It's just an endlessly entertaining film. I smile every time I watch it. You know, even though I know everything that's coming up, I giggle. You know,
well, that's how you know it's a great movie. When you know every line, and you could say it before they even come on, and it's
the music, the fucking dance at the end, and the big bad wolf. That scene where he comes in and the music kicks in. Oh my god, it's so sweet.
Well, even just the do 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 like the regular soundtrack is so good, so good.
But the man,
and then you know, I would like to marry Biff one day.
Yeah, you like Biff?
Or Boof.
It's Boof.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of
you want
Biff.
Biff too.
Also, I will also give him
Trump Biff in 85 and Back to the Future 2.
I know. We're living in that world.
We are,
unfortunately.
They got a lot of things right, folks. Robert Zemeckis,
I know.
Bob Gale.
They knew it. Yeah, it's it's hard for me because, like, I get it. I love it. I don't understand how you wouldn't, but I also do understand if you did not grow up, you're not going to get converted.
Is that a movie where you remember seeing it, or is it just another, like, I've always known Teen Wolf? Like,
probably same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me it was probably like an HBO back then. You know, I probably saw it the same 86,
right.
87.
Yeah,
you know? Oh no, I definitely saw it before 87 because Teen Wolf 2 came out in 87, and I was ripped excited to see Teen Wolf 2.
I watched both of them. Like, when I was a kid, I didn't have as much, you don't have as discerning a palate. So, I probably watched them both like, let's just do it. You know?
The reason I like Teen Wolf 2 today is probably the nostalgia of it. You know?
Yes.
Because
it isn't an angel.
It isn't the greatest movie, and I can see that, but I still enjoy it. It's got my man Stuart Fracken in it. Mm-hmm. It's got Jason Bateman in it.
It's got Oingo Boingo in it.
I think it does have Oingo Boingo in it.
And a sweet version of that song.
But again, it ain't no Teen Wolf. You know what I'm saying? The spice in those movies is Michael J. Fox. And even with something as silly and absurd as Teen Wolf, which was rampant in the 80s, taking the silly and absurd and making something out of it in the 80s. It was a throw shit on the wall, and if it sticks, really, that's what we're making.
Yeah.
And Michael J. Fox didn't play it for, anything other than real.
Yeah.
Like this was really happening to Scott.
How do I get into his head?
And it works, and he kills it, man. That's another movie. That's Bobby. Did we go to it or just Bobby? I think Bobby did. He went to the hardware store that his dad works at.
We didn't go there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Van Brunt, man.
Oof.
Jimmy Van Brunt.
Give me a keg of beer. No, it's, man. I don't know. It's funny. It's such a funny movie. So they've got, Funko started
Lemonade!
Making, little dudes. Super 7 made like their reaction or whatever they call it. There is a 1/6 scale.
Have you been able to see it again?
No.
Because I've looked for it again and I can't find it.
It was like a Japanese man who just made a custom one, and it's out in the world, and it probably costs as much as I'd want to pay for that figure. It's probably like $400, and I probably would go, that's probably what I would do.
Looks great.
Yeah. It's like a hot toy.
Yeah.
But someone made a custom, it's this. Just as a custom.
But better looking.
Oh, well, yes.
Like
but anyone, who decides to dress up as it, like for Halloween, anytime I see that out, I'm always like, hell yeah, you did that.
I also was a fan of the Teen Wolf cartoon show.
See, I don't remember that one as much.
I do. Well, you were younger, and by the time he was gone, by the time you were even,
Really? Was it like one
tasting your flavors.
season?
Yeah, it wasn't big. It wasn't a huge hit. But I do have that on DVD. Bootleg though, because
okay, I was gonna say, is that even out?
Shout.
Is it Shout?
Was going to put it out. It was actually they have it in a sell sheet.
Yeah.
So when you got the amazing Scream Factory Blu-rays of Teen Wolf and Teen Wolf 2, there was a insert for the cartoon.
Oh, okay.
And it never came out. I don't know what happened. I don't know if
that's one where it's like, why didn't you just throw it on there?
I know.
With all the shit that you're, you know what I mean?
It should have been.
Put that on there.
But did you watch the documentary to Teen Wolf?
We did.
Oh, we did together?
Yes, we did.
Oh, well, it's fantastic.
Because we watched, Jeff Loeb.
Oh, yeah. So it's a 90-minute documentary.
Yeah, and it was a thick
and
ass doc.
So great.
Yeah.
It is really good.
They got every single person but
Michael J. Fox. Yeah. But,
so, yeah, it was... it's like you said, it's a movie I probably watch at least once a year. I love the music.
For sure.
I love getting any little pieces. If anyone makes a little Teen Wolf thing, I'll probably buy it.
Clearly.
Because you just don't see it out and about at all.
You have a Teen Wolf shirt as well.
Yeah, it's not like Back to the Future. So yeah, it's just like...
Fright Rags, folks. Fright Rags. They had a whole line of Teen Wolf.
They may be the only ones, right?
Well, there's the the other shops that just make Teen Wolf shirts like yours. You know, yours wasn't a Fright Rags. Yours was just Teen Wolf. Man. And I mean, Teen Ape was an homage to Teen Wolf. and Ski Wolf was a direct homage to Ski School and Teen Wolf.
Yes.
Ski Wolf, man. One of these days. You never know. I think because it's still a stupid idea, you know.
Well,
like stupid funny.
Most of it okay?
Well, I mean, it still has life in it.
Yeah.
You know, you could take him anywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
I thought that was
archaeologist.
I didn't care about playing a normal human because I never do. I never want to play.
Who likes playing the straight guy?
I hate it.
That's the worst.
That's a real Andrew move.
When you're doing these in my movies.
But playing the wolf, that was hilarious, and you know it was very funny, and I definitely would do that again. That was super fun.
It was great makeup.
It was very good makeup. Yeah, I think that was part of it. Why it worked so good. It's because the makeup looked great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Ski Wolf, guys. Ski Wolf is one of my movies. He played Ski Wolf. It's not the greatest, but it's fun.
There's some funny.
It's entertaining.
There's some bits. Sex scene's pretty great.
Yeah, it's good stuff. If you want that, you gotta get a hold of me, man. It is out there in the world, I guess, but
maybe.
But get it from me.
Yeah, get it from the auteur. Yeah, it was the summer Fox.
So just starting is you know, there's a lot more merchandising for Teen Wolf. You know,
it'll be interesting to see if anything else is planned this year.
With the for the 35th. You know,
this is a big year period though because of so many.
This is the 80s, man. 80s all over again. Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's all here.
Yeah. So it's a big year for
He-Man.
He-Man's gonna be jacking all of our grills.
Oh my God.
It's a wild time. So
good.
Any other last Michael J. Foxen thoughts?
I mean, you know, the guy, he's a fucking super talented dude, and those early 80s with Michael J. Fox, you can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong. And for me, like, really, personally for me, Michael J. Fox is Alex P. Keaton, you know, Scott and Marty McFly.
Yeah. Well, I agree. Because there's other movies that I've watched Doc Hollywood and
it's just not for me.
It's not. Well, it's also just not the same.
Well, yeah,
you just don't.
When he plays those, come on, Marty McFly, it's magic.
Yeah.
When he was Alex P. Keaton, it was magic. The guy was fucking couldn't do any wrong until after those Back to the Future movies. But that's, you know, people may love The Secret of My Success. They may love, like, The Living Daylights or whatever that movie was.
It's definitely not that.
No. It was Bright Lights, Big Titties, right?
Yeah, I think that is the one. The underground one.
It's Bright Lights, Big Titties. Bright Lights, Big Titties. Or something like that.
I don't know.
It's the movie he did with Joan Jett. And he was a musician.
Horrible, then. That sounds just
I think it was Bright Lights, Big Titties, I believe.
Sounds like a movie you would make, but
Light of Day.
Oh, The Light of Day. And what's Bright Lights Big City? What's Bright Lights Big City?
Yeah, what is that Michael J. Fox? Oh, fantastic movie that I've never heard of before.
Nothing?
I think you just made that up.
It's Phoebe Cates.
Bright Lights Big City?
Kiefer Sutherland.
This is...
Well, maybe I saw Bright Lights Big Titties, and I'm thinking about that because of the big natural boobies. But
probably.
Michael J. Fox, man, the summer, '85,
yes.
Summer of Fox, could do no wrong. I can't wait to talk about Michael J. Fox again when we do our Family Ties episode. Huh? Oh my gosh, was that a robot from the future telling us we needed to get back there?
We've gotta go!
We gotta go back to the future. Oh my god, here, let me put on my specs. Where we're going, we don't need chodes.